I would have spent the beginning of this video on suspense about the early 2000s Stronghold Crusader gameplay and its details to convince you of the value of watching a gameplay video from an over 20-year-old game. But when Stronghold Crusader Definitive Edition was revealed, I delayed my plan of making an entire series of these spectacular Stronghold Crusader Skirmish Trails until the release of Crusader DE. And now it's a new game and the latest title from Firefly Studios, and I will start these skirmish missions from the Kingdom of Armenia. As the first 3 historical campaigns in the game was so obvious that it was a tutorial campaigns, with many restrictions and limited variety in the possible tactics, the true intensity begins with the Battle of Armenia, when you finally have unlimited access to almost every feature in the game, facing truly epic, unpredictable events. The Crusader States of the Sham were the real beginning of the Crusader Skirmish Trail, and while I haven't yet played the new historical campaigns that shall teach me how to use the new Bedawi units, I still don't know how exciting or realistic these missions are. Please don't mock me if you did play it. But I wanted to be comforted that this won't be a story-linked series. You can watch whatever video you like with its own unique title describing the individual video's content, without feeling that you missed previous episodes. Today, we'll battle against the Rat, aka Duc De Puce, by building Qal'at Shilvan in Armenia, defending against the Rat's assaults, and besieging him at La Roche-Guillaume. Witness with me a Crusader war and gameplay in Stronghold. Playing on very hard, our positions in Armenia favor me much more, as in the arid desert land, each one built their settlement close to a source of water and grass for agriculture, dividing the land between this plateau under my control, and the Rat has occupied the southeastern ground. While his castle is further from my position, the oases that he'll eat from are closer and more vulnerable. A small hill with plenty of stone to quarry. At the northeast has the only road to the land. To the southwest there's an empty oasis, and my settlement lies on the northwestern plateau with a green spot for agriculture, enough wood and stone resources. My small mountain offers a great defensive position, with a rocky cliff mostly shielding the entire settlement and only 2 restricted rugged elevations on the far sides. This will put any direct assaulting parties from the Rat under my defense's fire until they can flank the cliff. While the enemy can outmaneuver our range of arrows and threatens my farms, I'll make sure that my castle design is immune to such tactics without the traditional fake way of blocking the mountain passes. The absolute first thing I do is raise the taxes.
Bit much, these taxes.
And start gathering wood and food, perfectly exploiting the restricted grassland. And I don't know why the farms in Stronghold Crusader are far more efficient than in a Stronghold. A small number of farms is enough to supply a castle population with double rations. In the beginning I built only cow pastures, planning to craft many leather armors with a single wheat farm. But because we don't have time to wait for arms production, I've allocated a portion of my budget to purchase some bows and recruit English longbowmen. Building the stone quarries to bring the stone needed for the fortifications, which started by a large square tower accessed by stairs and armed with large ballista. It was the first section to be garrisoned under our flying colors.
A message from the Rat.
You impudent!
The reckless De Puce has launched an early attack with some archers and spearmen, whom I've recruited some infantry to face.
What?
While the tower is defending against rangers, my troops intercepted the enemy infantry. The fall of the Rat's archers was but the beginning, because...
Ally in Odessa reports Duke Guard is sending Arab mercenaries to help Duc De Puce. Move! They're here, sir!
The Arab mercenaries arrived from the northern road.
We are here to claim Chilvan Kale for Duc De Puce. Do not stand in our way, or you will not live long enough to regret it.
So instead of waiting them to link up with the Rat, I've called my fast archers and macemen, sending them to outpace the slowly moving infantry. And we began harassing them with arrows in their positions.
A message from the Rat.
I, the mighty De Puce, your nemesis, will soon triumph in the so-called army.
Such pride, it will destroy you, child. While our arrows have annihilated their unarmored spearmen, the shielded infantry have walked unaffected by my archer's shots.
Need some muscle?
So I've recruited more macemen and called the others to protect the Lord. But now, the advantage of the terrain has come into play, as the mercenaries lost their order while climbing the mountain, facing my organized lines, who walked coordinatedly in packed formation, crushing the enemy one by one. With some injured and no loss. Now, while the stones are increasing in my stockpile, I can build the delayed castle fortifications. Since I'm literally racing against time in this war, I don't have the cool head to design the fort structure perfectly. I must enclose the keep as soon as possible, while managing the economy, food supplement, and trade. At the same time, organizing the troops on the defense. When I found that I had a good food supplement, I gave extra rations and raised the taxes to make more gold, and completed building the fort. Now I've reorganized some sections of the interior, building an inn for more popularity, and when I have...
Our granary stocks are growing, sire.
I give the people...
Double rations. Great.
But that is at a price.
These taxes are unjust.
And don't worry,
Hold you in great esteem, my lord.
I have surplus popularity points that allow me to extract even more money from the people, and to hold their temper, we can decorate the fort, stabilizing my popularity rating. More inns and entertainment for the people, and I wanted to exploit this short time of peace to establish some trade deals that will ensure steady flow of gold to my treasury by selling this surplus production. Enough to buy weapons and armors to recruit a squad of elite heavy infantry. And here is my fort is complete. We have local farming supplying our granary and producing hops, with the strategically positioned defensive towers, as our main larger square tower is unreachable from outside, and with its long-ranged ballista, it will cause significant trouble for any attacking force. And I've discharged the wounded soldiers and ordered the weakened to guard elsewhere. Not long after,
A message from the rat.
Oh, yes! I bet now you're worried. My Imperial troops will soon be upon you.
the rat is preparing for another assault. Without any siege engines, his force of infantry charged directly under my tower's fire, trying to distract my garrison by splitting their troops in two, as if they would outflank my fort. But both wings were annihilated easily before getting close. Seeing the failure of their infantry, their archers retreated. Now, as I have built my fort and economy, it is time to plan my assault on the rat's position. La Roche-Guillaume is a weird and dangerous maze, which I can't risk any squad in charge an unknown path under obscure circumstances. In the beginning, I didn't want to take the predictable direct route, but was thinking about an outflanking maneuver to attack from the northeast by climbing this hill. But that was the predicted route from the rat's perspective, as he guarded it, and even if I crushed his guards and took unnecessary casualties, I would face a very thick stone wall fortifications, with no obvious route for assault. Bombarding these walls won't help either, as it would take so long to carve a path to the keep. I even thought about burning his farms and starving him out, but looking at his keep, it may be the most garrisoned section. But it has a thin wall with a very short direct route if I could smash a hole in the wall for my troops to stream in. Also, the wide and free plain down is perfect for standing my army without any obstacles, and will be easily connected to our fort for any need of reinforcements. So, a simple and direct approach will be tactically correct and strategically better to preserve his people from destruction and avoid unnecessary bloodshed by fighting the corrupt leader with his closest guards. So I have called all of my recruited soldiers under the command of the Lord. Half the army marched outside from the northern gate. This is the wing the Lord will make his presence in with his elite swordsmen. And the other half marched from the southern gate. When both wings encamped outside the fort on both of its sides, I gave the order to start the march. The troops have descended the hill, marching to take a partially defensive position, protecting the routes to our fort, while standing to plan the next offensive move. My army stood in 2 wings of archers, with engineers and tunnelers on their sides, 2 divisions of infantry, and the strongest 10 knights in the center under the direct leadership of the Lord himself. The sight of my army standing in clear land has provoked De Puce to unleash his last and strongest desperate assault. I have immediately ordered the engineers to construct the intended siege shields, and with both my archers' wings advancing behind cover, the Battle of Armenia has begun. With our 2 divisions of infantry charged to engage the Rats' infantry. With the Lord himself being among the first to contact weapons. Once we have cleared the field, we have reorganized to assault the nearly defenseless Rats' fort by now.
A message from the Rat.
The world has gone crazy. I should have destroyed you.
My entire force was committed to siege, with tunnelers rushing behind the troops.
A message from the Rat.
Since the archers were ahead of the infantry, the Rat's resistance was too weak due to the heavy loss of the troops annihilated in battle and couldn't retreat, which made his keep now vulnerable, while my tunnelers have started their sneaky job. My archers continued providing covering fire until we could breach a section of the wall. In the meantime, the Rat was recruiting his people to save himself. While the tunnels were advancing, I've sent my melee units into the fighting. As planned, the thin wall fell quickly, and my troops charged inside, smashing the Rat's forces, while the Lord, ahead of his elite guards, was walking to a single specified target, fighting Duc De Puce in close combat.
A message from the Rat. The old Rat's made a run for it. We've done it, sir.
With very minimal losses. I'm happy that this mission didn't take a lot of time, as I was asking viewers who watched my previous Stronghold videos based on the content you've experienced on Strong Fort until now, which part you enjoyed more, the building process or the siege and warfare. That was because when I played and recorded today's mission, thought it would make a long video to cover its events, and since many have voted on the building process, with guys saying definitely both, I'm convinced that I should not skip any part of the war in the Crusader Skirmish missions. But allow me to ask you a question. Are you up for long videos from Strong Fort? Something like over 20 minutes of narrated gameplay? I'll wait to read your answers in the comments. And so we'll read together some unreplied comments picked randomly from the previous videos in general, because it's never too late or too old to share your thoughts with us on any video on Strong Fort. Tom Puppet says, on building and defending Constantinople fully in Stronghold, someone give him a time machine to 1453. He can save the city. I don't think so, because I would have been away from the affairs of the Ottomans and Byzantines at that time. Both are like each other to me. The pinned comment on the video Building an Ideal Castle with Exciting Siege, Stronghold Definitive Edition says, the walls, towers and gates just fall too quickly to catapults and trebuchets for it to feel like a true castle. That being said, a well-garrisoned castle is as tough as it should be to regular infantry. Northern Strategist has made a video called Stronghold's Walls, a feature that lost its purpose. He very accurately discussed this point in all Stronghold games, which made me understand why I prefer leading my army on the ground in playing the 3D Strongholds more than trusting the strength of my castle walls, especially Crusader 2, in which garrison is nearly useless on towers and walls. I'll leave his video's link in the description, but I still can't judge the 3D Strongholds apart from the old Stronghold 2 because I haven't played it professionally, meaning that I haven't yet continued the main campaign in Stronghold 3, Crusader 2 and Warlords. But I've played them all a lot and really enjoyed it, and was also annoyed by it because I prefer to show you in the future videos. And trust me, it won't be traditional exploring gameplay videos. Thank you guys for reaching this far. Join us now by subscribing to Strong Fort channel, and I'll meet you soon.